So today is Ekadashi, that also in the month of Kartik. So request all of you that certain things which can be avoided today, like in principle we say shaving, cutting nails, these are all, the principle is if certain thing can be avoided today, don't do it today. Some people even shopping, all this thing, if they can avoid something in necessity, you cannot. You have to buy medicines, you have to go and buy. But certain thing which can be avoided, better don't do today. Save time, chant more. Okay? Proper Ekadashi means chant. Not that we give up service. That is also not good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji, koti koti naman.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदु त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवकीर्य जता श्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म नृकपालि अवसत् पिशाचै ये मूर्धभिः ददति तत् चरणावशिष्टम् किं वा शिवाख्यमशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तमवकीर्य जता श्मशाने तन्मूल्यभस्म नृकपालि अवशत् पिशाचै ये मूर्धभिः ददति तच्चरणावशिष्टम् किं वा शिवाख्यमशिवं न विदुः त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तमवकीर्य जता श्मशाने तन्मूल्य भस्म नृकपालि अवशत् पिशाचै ये मूर्धभिः ददति तच्चरणावशिष्टम् किं वा शिवाख्यमशिवं न विदुः त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तमवकीर्य जता श्मशाने तन्मूल्य भस्म नृकपालि अवसत् पिशाचै ये मूर्धभिः ददति तच्चरणावशिष्टम् किं वा शिवाख्यमशिवं न विदुः त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तमवकीर्य जता श्मशाने तन्माल्य भस्म नृकपालि अवशत् पिशाचै ये मूर्धभिः ददति तच्चरणावशिष्टम्. Yes, who would like to repeat it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवकीर्य जता श्मशाने तन्माल्य भस्मा नृकपालि अवसत् पिशाचैर् ये मूर्धाभिर्दधाति तच् चरणावसृष्टाम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam. किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादाय तम् अवकीर्य जटा शमशाने तन्माल्यभस्म नृकपाल्य अवसत् पिशाचे ये मूर्धभिः ददति तच्चरणावशिष्टम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी, दंड प्रणाम.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवकीर्य जटा श्मशाने तन्माल्य भस्म हुकपाल्य अवसत् पिशाचै ये मूर्धभिर्ददति तच्चरणावसृष्टम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. किं वा शिवाख्यमशिवं न बिन्दुस्तवदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तमवकीर्य जटाः श्मशाने तन्माल्य भस्ममनकृपाल्य वसप्तिशाचे मूर्धोभिर्दधति तच्चारणवासृष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी।
किं वा शिवाक्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवकीर्य जटः श्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म नृकपाल्य अवसत्पिशाचेर् ये मूर्धाभिर्ददति तच्चरणावसृष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण
प्रभुजी धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभुजी। किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयास्तम् अविक्रिय जात समासने तन्मल्यभस्म निकल्पल्य अवसत् पिशाचैर् ये मूर्धभिर्दधाति तक्षरणा अवृष्टम्। Thank you so much प्रभुजी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी। किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयास्तम् अवकीर्य जतः श्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म नृपकल्पि अवसात् पिशाचेर् ये मूर्धभिर्दधाति तच्चरणावशिष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। किं वा शिवाख्यम् अशिवं न विदुस्तवन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवक्रिय जटाः श्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म नृकल्प अवसात् पिशाचे ये मूर्तिर्विदधति तच्चरणावसृष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। किं वा शिवाख्यं शिवं न विदुस्तवन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तमवकीर्य जटाः श्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म कृपाल्यवसत्पिशाचे ये मूर्धभिर्दधति तच्चरणावसृष्टम्। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you everybody. Next. Chalo, final.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। किं वा शिवाख्यम् शिवं न विदुस्त्वदन्ये ब्रह्मादयस्तम् अवाक्य जातश्मशाने तन्माल्यभस्म नृकपालि अवसत् पिशाचैर् ये मूर्धभिर्दधति तच्चरणावसृष्टम्। Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Now, Kimva, whether Shiva Akyam, name Shiva, Ashivam, inauspicious, Navidu, do not know, Twatanye, other than you, Brahma Adaya, Brahma and others, Tam, him, Lord Shiva, Avakirya, scattered, Jataha, having twisted here, Smashane, in the crematorium, Tatamalya Bhasma Nikapali, whose garland with the human skull is smeared with ashes, Avasat, associated, Pishache, with demons, Yehu, Murdabihi, with the head, Dadati, place, Tatcharana, Avashishtam, fallen from his lotus feet. Do you think the greater, more respectable personality than you, such as Brahma, who do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name of Lord Shiva, associates the demons in the crematorium with locks of hair are scattered all over his body, his garlanded with human skulls are smeared with the ashes from the crematorium, but in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads. Hare Krishna, Supriti Keshavida Vidasi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. It is useless to condemn a great personality like Lord Shiva, and this is being stated by his wife Sati to establish the supremacy of her husband. First, she said, "You call Lord Shiva inauspicious because he associates with demons in crematoriums, covers his body with the ashes of the dead, and garlands himself with the skulls of human beings. You have shown so many defects, but you do not know that his position is always transcendental. Although he appears inauspicious, why do personalities like Brahma respect the dust of his lotus feet and place on their heads with great respect those very garlands which are condemned by you? Since Sati was a chaste woman and the wife of Lord Shiva, it was her duty to establish the elevated position of Lord Shiva, not only by sentiment but by facts. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity. This is the conclusion of Vedic scripture. He is neither on the level of Supreme Personality of Godhead nor on the level of the ordinary living entities. Brahma is an almost Brahma is in almost all cases an ordinary living entity. Sometimes, when there is no ordinary living entity available, the post of Brahma is occupied by an expansion of Lord Vishnu. But generally, this post is occupied by a greatly pious living entity within this universe. Thus, Lord Shiva's position is constitutionally higher than that of Lord Brahma, although Lord Shiva appeared as the son of Brahma. Here it is mentioned that even personalities like Brahma accept the so-called inauspicious flowers and the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord Shiva. Great sages like Marichi, Atri, Bhrigu, and the others among the 9 great sages who are descendants of Brahma also respect Lord Shiva in such a way because they all know that Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity. In many Puranas, it is sometimes asserted that a demigod is elevated to such a high position that he is almost on an equal level with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is confirmed in every scripture. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita to be like curd or yogurt. Curd is non-different from milk. Since milk is transformed into curd, in one sense, curd is also milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva is in one sense the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in another sense, he is not, just as curd is milk, although we have to distinguish between the two. These descriptions are in the Vedic literature. Whenever I find that a demigod occupies a position apparently more elevated than that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is just to draw the devotee's attention to that particular demigod. It is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.25 that if one wants to worship a particular demigod, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is sitting in everyone's heart, gives one greater and greater attachment for that demigod so that one may be elevated to the demigod's abode. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. By worshipping demigods, one can elevate himself to the abodes of the demigods. Similarly, by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can be elevated to the spiritual kingdom. This is stated in different places in Vedic literature. Here, Lord Shiva is praised by Sati, partially due to her personal respect for Lord Shiva, since he is her husband, and partially due to his exalted position, which exceeds that of ordinary living entities, even Lord Brahma. The position of Lord Shiva is accepted by Lord Brahma, so Daksha, Sati's father, should also recognize him. That was the point of Sati's statement. She did not actually come to her father's house to participate in the function, although before coming, she pleaded with her husband that she wanted to see her sisters and her mother. That was a plea only, for actually at heart, she maintained the idea that she would convince her father, Daksha, that it was useless to continue being envious of Lord Shiva. That was her main purpose. When she was unable to convince her father, she gave up her body he had given her, as will be seen in the following verses. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay. So they continued, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and control religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemous tongue and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own life.
Purport. Yes. The argument offered by Sati is that a person who vilifies a great personality is the lowest of all creatures. But by the same argument, Daksha could also defend himself by saying that since he was a Prajapati, the master of many living creatures, and one of the great officers of the great universal affairs, his position was so exalted that Sati should accept his godly good qualities instead of vilifying him. The answer to that argument is that Sati was not vilifying but defending. If possible, she should have cut out Daksha's tongue because he blasphemed Lord Shiva. In other words, since Lord Shiva is a protector of religion, a person who vilifies should be killed at once. And after killing such a person, one should give up one's life. That is a process. But because Daksha happened to be the father of Sati, she decided not to kill him, but to give up her own life in order to compensate for the great sin she had committed by hearing blasphemy of Lord Shiva. The instruction set forth here in Srimad Bhagavatam is that one should not tolerate at any cost the activities of a person who vilifies or blasphemes an authority. If one is a Brahmana, he should not give up his body, because by doing so, he would be responsible for killing a Brahmana. Therefore, a Brahmana should leave the place or block his ears so that he will not hear the blasphemy. If one happens to be a Kshatriya, he has the power to punish any man. Therefore, a Kshatriya should at once cut out the tongue of a vilifier and kill him. But as far as the Vaishyas and Shudras are concerned, they should immediately give up their bodies. Sati decided to give up her body because she thought herself to be among the Shudras and Vaishyas. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.32, Striyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudraha. Women, laborers, and the mercantile class are on the same level. Thus, since it is recommended that Vaishyas and Shudras should immediately give up their bodies upon hearing blasphemy of an exalted person like Lord Shiva, she decided to give up her life. Hare Krishna.
Therefore, I shall no longer bear this unworthy body which I then received from you who have blasphemed Lord Shiva. If someone has taken food which is poison, the best treatment is vomit.
Purport. Since Sati was a representation of the external potency of the Lord, it was in her power to vanquish many universes, including many Dakshas, but in order to save her husband from the charge that he employed his wife Sati to kill Daksha, because he could not do so due to his inferior position, she decided to give up her body. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, some more. Because we already discussed this point, I am developing a new. It is better to execute one's own occupational duty than to criticize others. Elevated transcendentalists may sometimes forego the rules and regulations of the Vedas, since they do not need to follow them, just as the demigods travel in space where the ordinary men travel on the surface of the earth.
Purport. The behavior of the most elevated transcendentalist and that of the most fallen conditioned soul appears to be the same. The elevated transcendentalist can surpass all the regulations of the Vedas, just as the demigods traveling in space surpass all the jungles and rocks on the surface of the globe, although a common man who has no such ability to travel in space has to face all those impediments. Although the most dear Lord Shiva appears not to observe all the rules and regulations of the Vedas, he is not affected by such disobedience. But a common man who wants to imitate Lord Shiva is mistaken. A common man must observe all the rules and regulations of the Vedas, which a person who is in the transcendental position does not need to observe. Daksha found fault with Lord Shiva for not observing all the strict rules and regulations of the Vedas, but Sati asserted that he had no need to observe such rules. It is said that for one who is powerful like the sun or the fire, there is no consideration of purity or impurity. The sunshine can sterilize an impure place, whereas if someone else were to pass such a place, he would be affected. One should not try to imitate Lord Shiva, rather one should strictly follow one's prescribed occupational duties. One should never vilify a great personality like Lord Shiva.
Little more reading. In the Veda, there are directions of two kinds of activities. Activities for those who are attached to material enjoyment, activities those who are materially detached. In considering these two activities, there are two kinds of people who have different symptoms. If one wants to see these two kinds of activities in one person, that is contradictory. But both kinds of activities may be neglected by a person who is transcendently situated.
Purport. The Vedic activities are so designed that the conditioned soul who has come to enjoy the material world may do so under direction, so that at the end he becomes detached from such material enjoyment and is eligible to enter into the transcendental position. The four different social orders, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, gradually train a person to come to the platform of transcendental life. The activities and the dress of a Grihastha or householder are different from those of a Sannyasi, one in the resonance order of life. It is impossible for one person to adopt both orders. A sannyasi cannot act like a householder, nor can a householder act like a sannyasi. But above these two kinds of persons, one who engages in material activities and one who has renounced material activities, there is the person who is transcendental to both. Lord Shiva is in the transcendental position because, as stated before, he is always absorbed in the thought of Lord Vasudeva within himself. Therefore, neither the activities of the Grihastha nor those of the sannyas in the renounced order can be applicable for him. He is in the Paramahamsa stage, the highest perfectional stage of life. The transcendental position of Lord Shiva is also explained in Bhagavad Gita 2.52 to 53. It is stated that when one fully engages in the transcendental service of the Lord by performing activities without fruitive results, one is elevated to transcendental position. At that time, he has no obligation to follow the Vedic injunctions or the different rules and regulations of the Vedas. When one is above the directions of the Vedic ritualistic injunctions for attaining different allurements and is fully absorbed in transcendental thought, which means thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotional service, one is in the position called Buddhi Yoga or Samadhi, ecstasy. For a person who has attained this stage, neither Vedic activities for realizing material enjoyment nor those for renunciation are applicable.
My dear father, opulences with others is impossible for either you or your flatterers to imagine. For persons who engage in fruitive activities or performing great sacrifices are concerned with satisfying their bodily necessities by eating foodstuff offered as sacrifice. We can exhibit our opulences simply by desiring to do. This can be achieved only by great personalities or renounced, self-realized souls.
Purport. Sati's father was under the impression that he was exalted in both prestige and opulence, and that he had offered his daughter to a person who was not only poor, but devoid of all culture. Her father might have been thinking that although she was a chaste woman, greatly adherent to her husband was in a deplorable condition. To counteract such thoughts, Sati said that the opulence possessed by her husband could not be understood by materialistic persons like Daksha and his followers, who were flatterers and were engaged in fruitive activities. Her husband's position was different. He possessed all opulences, but he did not like to exhibit them. Therefore, such opulences are called avyakta or unmanifested. But if required simply by willing, Lord Shiva can show his wonderful opulences, and such an event is predicted here, for it would soon occur. The opulence Lord Shiva possesses is enjoyable in renunciation and love of God, not in material exhibition of sense gratificatory methods. Such opulences are possessed by personalities like the Kumaras, Narada, and Lord Shiva, not by others. In this verse, the performers of Vedic rituals are condemned. They have been described here as dhuma vartabhi, those who maintain themselves on the remnants of sacrificial foodstuff. There are two kinds of foodstuff offered in sacrifice. One kind of food is offered in fruitive ritualistic sacrifices, and the other, the best, is food offered to Vishnu. Although in all cases, Vishnu is the chief deity on the sacrificial altar, the performers of fruitive ritual aim to satisfy various demigods to achieve in return some material prosperity. Real sacrifice, however, is to satisfy Lord Vishnu, and the remnants of such sacrifices are beneficial for advancement in devotional service. The process of elevation by performing sacrifices other than those aimed at Vishnu is very slow, and therefore it has been condemned in this verse. Vishwanatha Chakravarti has described the ritualistic performers to be like crows, because crows delight in eating the remnants of food which has been thrown into the dustbin. All the Brahmanas who were present for the sacrifice were also condemned by Sati. Whether or not King Daksha and his flatterers could understand the position of Lord Shiva, Sati wanted to impress upon her father that he should not think her husband to be without opulence. Sati, being the devoted wife of Lord Shiva, offers all kinds of material opulences to the worshippers of Lord Shiva. This fact is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 10th canto. Lord Shiva's worshippers sometimes appear more opulent than the worshippers of Lord Vishnu, because Durga or Sati, being the superintendent in charge of material affairs, can offer all material opulences to the worshippers of Lord Shiva in order to glorify her husband, whereas the worshippers of Vishnu are meant for spiritual elevation, and therefore their material opulence is sometimes found to decrease. These points are very nicely discussed in the 10th canto. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyabhati Pashat Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhava Padavya Pitarasmadastita Nayagna Shala Shunadhuma Vartamavihi Tadanna Triptai Ashubhridavi Idita Avyaktalinga Avadhuta Sevitaha. My dear Father, opulence is impossible for either you or flatterers to imagine. Person engaged in fruitive activities, performing great sacrifices, the concern is satisfying their bodily necessities by eating food served offered as a sacrifice. We can exhibit our opulences simply by desiring to do so. This can be achieved only by great personal renown, self-realized souls. Hare Krishna. So I did not comment on the previous verses because the topic we have been discussing for last 2-3 classes. And I think as you read the purports, you are clear. What we said is already been explained in the classes. Now the topic was, I would like to focus on the opulence. Well, she is saying her husband is very opulent, sitting below a tree without any house. And Daksha with all the wealth and house and whatever he shows is not wealthy but poor. So let us discuss what is real wealth. You know the famous instance, once devotee of Lord Shiva went to Lord Shiva, he wanted some money. So he asked Lord Shiva, can you bless me? He said, yeah, you can go to one sage called Sanatan Goswami in Vrindavan. Meet him. So he came to Sanatan Goswami. He said, can you give me some wealth? He's just looking, he's just sitting with in a very humble situation, just wearing a towel and a loincloth. That's all the Goswami's position was. So he said, I remember. That river is there, no? Just in the corner of that, you'll be able to locate. I had thrown one Chintamani. Chintamani means, a spatial touchstone. It touch on anything, it becomes gold. So I think just look there. So he went to the bank of Yamuna and he saw the touchstone. Just removed a little mud, he saw one stone over there. Touched anything, we go, wow, I become a billionaire now. So he was very happily walking. Thank you, Lord Shiva, you blessed me. Then he realized actually, if everybody works for wealth. Everybody works for wealth. Okay, now the voice is clear. So everybody works for wealth. So the Sanatan Goswami, what it is that why he has thrown away? That means he has some more valuable thing with it. So he went to Sanatan Goswami and he said that, you have cheated me actually, because if this was a real wealth, you not throw it away. He said, okay, fine. You want real wealth? He said, yes. Go, throw this in Yamuna and come back. So he said, oh my God, but I'm going to get something much more valuable. So he went and with great reluctance threw it on the water. Then he came and sat in front of Sanatan Goswami. He said, ready? He said, yes. Chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Our Prime Minister went to Japan and he is told some king or some personality there that I am giving you something. No, I have nothing greater to give you and you have no greater thing to receive. But he's saying, but actually a devotee has a real realization. Giving Bhagavad Gita as it is, not Mayavada explanation that he gave. And giving the holy name to people is the greatest thing you can give to anybody. If you can, give this wealth to your own children, the greatest thing you can give. First, charity begins at home. Give it to yourself. And we even know it is a real wealth and we receive it, how much benefit we can make. So wealth, what is real wealth? Okay, so today that is the discussion. Let us see some quotes on Prabhupada, then I will develop that. Now this is Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, there is a chapter. And what is the chapter called? This is Deva Asura Sampada Yoga. This is as we read Bhagavad Gita, Sampada. Sampada means Sampatti, the wealth of a Devata and wealth of a Asura. And what does Krishna is saying is the Sampatti of a Devata, Abhayam Sattva Samsiddhi. Your real wealth is actually, you should be fearless. Now, if you are fearful, what is the point of having money? Even with the money, you'll go crazy. I always tell my experience in the college, there was nothing to do, idle mind devil's workshop. So I used to every night feel, I will have a heart attack. And whole night I cannot sleep. Okay? Sometimes you get some anxiety. So if you are fearful, even if I give you a nice thing to eat, nice, comfortable bed to lie down, you cannot enjoy anything. No? Can you enjoy? No. So the peace and happiness and satisfaction will be vanish if abhayam is there. Correct? If the bhayam is there, we should be abhayam. So that is the first principle of wealth. The real asset of a devotee is, these are all deva assets which are said in the beginning of this chapter, and later asura assets. When you analyze the chapter, actually interestingly, we have all the assets of an asura. So really a divine person is not, recognized. Neither you feel somebody is divine because of, he's wearing a lot of gold chain and all. No, because of these qualities. Because if somebody is fearful, he cannot have any qualities. Fearful man in an emergency, he will exploit anybody for his satisfaction. Correct? A drowning man will grab anybody. Therefore, drowning man is very carefully pulled out. If you go near him, he just grabs you. And he will drown you also. So first thing of a personality, a great person, if you want to become a great person, is abhayam. So these are the qualities which are actual ornaments. If you have a friend which is abhayam, you'll be actually very happy. He is no fear. Yeah. Sattva samshuddhi, always engage in purification of our existence. Second, wealth. Always engage. Whenever you see him, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. If he is fearful, how will he chant? And if he chants, he will become fearless anyway, either way. But so another second quality is Sattva, engage in. How the best way to purify? Chant. Today is Ekadashi. In the month of Kartik, chant more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. You wanted to buy something, you can buy it. If you can postpone for tomorrow, better do it, so that you can chant more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Jnana Yoga means cultivating spiritual knowledge. How do you read proper books? So real asset of somebody is that he is fearless, very peaceful, and he chants very nicely and he reads proper books. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, cultivating spiritual knowledge. How do you cultivate spiritual knowledge for you? Read proper books, we cultivate spiritual knowledge. Or today we are just reading for proper books, do like that. Dana, give charity the wealth. The joy of giving. It is said, we feel great joy in giving. So dhanam. Now who will give? Miser never gives anything. Damaha, control of the senses. Real wealth. If senses are not controlled, what the wealth will do anyway? Yajna, doing yagyas. Swadhyayaha, doing study. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, one way, cultivating spiritual knowledge. Another way is doing study. Swadhyaya. Doing studies of Arjavam, being simple, not doing. That is another wealth. That is so simple. The real asset of a person are these divine qualities, not money. Ahimsa, not giving pain to another individual. Satyam, always being truthful. Akrodaha, being free from anger. Tyaga, renounce. Shanti, being peaceful. So like that, daya, these are all qualities which are mentioned in this. Okay? These qualities are actually, let us read, because some Sanskrit words I was not knowing the meaning, so I'll read from here. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, studying the Swadhyaya, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding. We discussed this, fault-finding. Compassion for all the living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy, and passion, freedom from passion for honor. These are the qualities of a divine person. So these are real assets, and actually we should be acquiring these assets. Then we become dear to Krishna, attractive to Krishna even. The devotee automatically, as he practices spiritual life, start developing these assets. So people, when they see us, somebody was telling me that people should something tangible change. Yes, this quality should manifest. Prabhupada used to many times say out of joy, match my disciples, because these qualities should manifest. And that is how that is your best preaching. Blah, 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 blah. You can speak so many things. People will not listen to you. But when you see these qualities manifest in you, my God, you must be following a great process. Hey, how do you do that? I chant Hare Krishna. I chant. All your friends will start chanting if you develop these qualities in you. Okay? They can speak so many things, they are demons and all, but what are you? You're not developing divine qualities. So people don't get attracted. People don't become submissive. They become submissive. And they see, oh, this person has such nice qualities. Wonderful. Yeah, what do you do? And once they are submissive, then only you can preach. You can never preach to somebody who's arguing. You can only preach to somebody when he's submissive. And when somebody becomes submissive, when you actually have this real wealth. In this world also, when somebody has wealth, people become jabbed by him. Oh, he's so wealthy, so wealthy. Okay, that's okay. They're asuras. Asuras get one small animal that get attracted a big animal. But these are divine qualities. And previously, a Brahmana used to possess real wealth. He used to have these qualities, and we used to walk into the palace. The king used to get up and worship him because he knows real wealthy man has come. I have this all paper and coins. These are not real wealth, because this wealth gives you peace. This wealth gives you happiness. This wealth takes you back to Krishna's lotus feet, gives you complete satisfaction. So life is for acquiring these wealth. Okay? But actually, if you see, interestingly, after giving the list of these things, Krishna says the list of inauspicious asuras wealth. And that is what the society is actually giving. When people go to schools and colleges, they are not trained into these wealth, but they are trained into these things. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. These are the qualities of the demonic nature. These are asuras wealth. And don't we have that? We are very proud, very arrogant, we never control our anger, we are very harsh, we are totally ignorant. The wealth of a asura. So we have asura wealth, and sometimes it comes out. We do not have divine wealth. The transcendental qualities are conducted to liberation, where the demonic qualities make for bondage. So demonic qualities means you have to take birth again. Do not for your pandu, for your born in divine qualities. Now Arjuna is getting a certificate from Krishna. Who are we to analyze? Arjuna now. No, Krishna is giving a certificate. You are divine. You have all the wonderful qualities. That is why Krishna is on his chariot. Krishna doesn't sit on chariot people having demonic qualities. So Krishna is saying two kinds of being. One is called divine, one is called demonic. So I have explained to you, okay, the divine and demonic. Now I'm going to tell you the demonic qualities. And just I'll read few. Say, they don't know what is to be done. What is to be done, what is not to be done. No cleanliness, no proper behavior, not truth is found in them. This is demonic. Okay, so you see that these are asuras wealth. And then so many things come. They say the world is unreal. This is a modern day science and philosophy. World is unreal. With no foundation, no God in control. This is the wealth of an asura. These kind of conclusions are a gift of what accompanies an asura. The world is just produced by accident. They say accident, like a sex desire, and no cause other than lust. It has nothing. They don't find any principle operating except lust. And then they glide on to they do most foolish activities and destroy the wealth. There was something more interesting here. Okay? Absorbed in conceit, pride, and false prestige, the demonic, the illusion are always want to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. And something more, very interesting. They are believed to gratify the senses, the prime necessity of human civilization. Isn't that true? There is nothing else in 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 100-year plan the government made. How people can enjoy their senses nicely. Now, life is full of anxieties and bound by thousands of desires, absorbed in lust and anger. They secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. And there's something more interesting. This is purpose. Gives a long purpose. So much wealth do I have today, I'll gain more according to my scheme. This is asuras. They have some paper coins which they call wealth. And so much I have today and I'll gain more. They're just absorbed in that. So much is mine now, it'll increase in the future. I don't know for what purpose. He's my enemy, I've killed him. That person, just like Duryodhana was always feeling. This Pandavas are my enemy. And he burned their house. He tried to strip their wife, gave them poison, looted their property, still was not satisfied. He wanted to just kill them away, burn them. And I've killed. I'm the Lord of everything. And this is demonic. I'm the in charge. I'm perfect, powerful and happy. I'm the richest. Surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none powerful and happy. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity. I shall rejoice. In this way, deluded by ignorance. Okay. And thus perplex the various anxieties, bound by network of illusion, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment, fall down into hell. So this was the first point which I wanted to develop. I think this is clear to everybody that the demonic, the asura wealth, this is the result. Go to Naraka after that. You know, most biggest problem that we have today is that people are addicted to false enjoyment of glory, of their vain glories, their own glories, of women and wealth. And they think this is success of life. And then there has to be impetus for activity. Somebody is going to school and college, 20 years he goes. Why is he going? In the beginning, they don't know. Small children, they just go to make friends and they start playing after that. And then they get attached to school. In the beginning, the child makes a lot of trouble going to school. Later, he starts enjoying. But as he grows up, he understands there is something very serious. He's actually going to school, college, because one day he'll become a rich man. So they are actually working hard. They are working hard for vain glories, for stupid glories. I'm famous man, I'm big man. I want to enjoy women and wealth. They have no other ambition in life. And who is responsible? The parents. To train, and the college, the education, to train the children only in these kind of ambitions. But nothing else is in it. The child just keeps working. And sometimes in life, these things do not come. The vain glories don't come. Somebody says, no, you are actually not glorious, you're a stupid person. Can't handle it. They'll cry like a victim. That's all. They'll convince themselves they are victim and they'll keep crying. You tell them, no, you're mad. No. They'll cry like a victim, like a fool. That's all. Anybody cries like a victim is, some victim. I'm a victim. Something happened to me which should not happen. I'm a victim. I deserve more, but I'm a victim. A woman may reject, that's all, they go to depression. And then wealth, I want so much money, but they're not giving you money. So that's all the whole life goes into, unsatisfied of whatever they have, and they want to keep increasing this thing. What a foolish asura sampada, the wealth of an asura. They want to keep increasing, but thinking that they'll become happy in that way. Something very interesting that actually, this way I pointed out, but I wanted to show you the Prabhupada himself said it. This is 1952, 18 years before he started ISKCON. Prabhupada is writing in his magazine. Asura, he's saying that apparently he seems to be fortunate in not possessing much material wealth, but actually he is the most unfortunate creature. So Asura seem to be fortunate enough by possessing much material wealth, but actually this is unfortunate. Now Prabhupada points this point out that wealth we think is blessing. When somebody gets money is a God's blessing to me. Okay? Sometimes we try to show to people by doing big yagna, big homa, big function. See, I'm a great devotee also in devotee community by showing wealth. But actually, no. He is actually the most unfortunate creature. So when we get wealth without devotion to Krishna, that wealth will cause destruction. That wealth will cause destruction than any. So that will not be a wealth, will not be a blessing. That wealth will be a curse. Okay. I'll come and develop this point again later. Let us talk about this point. Okay. Does everybody understand this point? See, what happens whenever we get some money, say suppose suddenly in your account you find 100 crore rupees. Oh, wow. Thank you, Krishna. Let us be honest. We feel greatly blessed. Thank you. But actually, if there is no purity in your heart, this wealth will take you to Naraka. This wealth will take you to Naraka. Is it true for demons? Yes, it is true for demons. Whom we know Ravana. He brought Lakshmi, Sita, and he felt he's blessed. So beautiful she is. Lakshmi he brought, correct? Wealth means wealth in all opulences. and Sita is actually Lakshmi Narayana Lakshmi, and he brought her. But what was the cause? She was the cause of his destruction. First, he got defamed in his own country. Anybody reasonable, including his brother, other wife, his own son, all understood he had done a mistake. So he lost his respect by doing that foolish activity. And then he was killed. So bringing wealth, having money without pure heart will actually cause destruction for a demon. Is it true? You all agree? So that is not wealth. Even for a devotee, if heart is not pure. Just like we know Indra, because of being opulent, became proud, and Krishna saved him, otherwise he had destroyed himself. We also had that example of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada. He was in Navadip, and somebody at that time he developed 64 matas. You know that when those who came to Mayapur, we saw Chaitanya Matha on the first day, a big mata, you remember? Where we had Shad Goswami Murti also, and we had the Samadhis, we had a nice class also there, Bhatul Krishna Prabhu. So that is the first temple he built actually, and he built 64 mathas. And after that, one Marwadi came to him with wealth, and he said, Swamiji, can I make your headquarters in Kolkata of marble? And a marble is very expensive. If you want to put flooring, say, of marble, the whole thing will become 10 times more expensive, the flooring itself. So as I decided, can we do that? So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said, okay. So that person built, and that's called Bhagavatam temple. And Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada saw that opulent big building that is built. His old sannyasis are fighting for rooms. And he told Prabhupada, Agni hoibe. Agni hoibe. This my whole movement is going to burn because this wealth will be cause of destruction. He saw that. He said, I want to pull all this marble from this place and sell it, that I can print some books and preach. So even wealth, even a person, therefore, there is one principle in Nectar of Instruction. What he said? Atyahara prayasastra prajalpa niyamagraha. You all know that? Everybody knows that. What is atyahara there? Has two meanings. One is what? Eating more than necessary. Everybody knows that. And if we eat more than necessary, all of us agree, we will fall down. But also, if you have money, which is more than your realization, you'll fall down. See, we can convert matter to spirit to the level of your realization. I'll give you something more, then connect the whole thing. It's a very deep thing, then you'll go to more quotations of Prabhupada on wealth. In management, they say, everybody grows till he is a failure. Like in any company, you take a position. After a couple of years, you're promoted. Okay? Then you're promoted. And you're promoted, and you also demand promote. But if you do not have qualification for a post, you fall down. So everybody is promoted. Fall down means you just go crazy. You cannot deliver the goods and the company kicks you out. So everybody gets promoted till the time he falls, because he tries to go to a situation just because of his seniority, but actually he is not qualified to handle that level of freedom. Just like yesterday I went to meet somebody, a big official. What do I see? Big room, office. He's having lunch now. And we are sitting outside, 45 minutes we're waiting. Nobody can peek in what he's doing inside the room. All people are waiting, all bosses. But if he doesn't have the realizations, if he doesn't have a purity, maturity for that level of freedom, he can sit inside and watch a movie. Correct? He can sit inside and do any sinful activity also. He can drink because he has the freedom. He has the privacy. So as we grow up in our responsibilities, we get privacy, we get this freedom, and we can misuse in material or spiritual field and fall down. So amount of wealth, therefore Kali Purusha, it is said he resides in the fifth place called wealth. This was when Kali Purusha asked Parikshit Maharaj, give me 4 places, give me some place to stay. I'm taken your shelter. He said, okay, go where the 4 regulative principles are broken. So he could not find a place. He said, no, you need kingdom. Just imagine a real king of earth, emperor of earth, 4 regulated princes, not spoken on earth. Such a nice, great rule. That's a real king. So he said, no, I do not find. He said, okay, you can go where excessive wealth is there. So any amount of wealth, either in the hand of a demon, means guaranteed goes for sinful activity. Even a devotee, beyond his level of realization, will cause his destruction. I've seen many times when I go to malls, we have to go to mall to purchase something. Many times I see devotees saying, I will not enter. Because what happens when you go to a mall generally today? Very expensive, flooring and opulence all around, which is intoxicating, it's disturbing. Many devotees say, disturbs me. They don't come. So I'm fine. A small shop I can go and purchase that. I find it difficult. I find it disturbing to walk in a mall because the very, the sense of opulence all around is disturbing. Okay? So therefore, ati ahara, it said collecting more than necessary means more than your realizations allow you. I told you the joke. You have sitting, and I put in an account 1 lakh rupees. I said, okay. I put 1 crore. You become, and I put 100 crore. You'll go mad. You'll become mad. So there is excessive wealth. Therefore, we do not see in this world people with too much money coming to spiritual life. We do not see. We meet them now because as we want to complete the project in time for devotee. But what do we see that? They don't come to temple. They're not interested in spiritual life. Too much wealth makes a person actually mad. Generally, they become mad. They become crazy. And they almost become crazy. They speak anything, they go out of control, they go crazy. So as a devotee also, even in the service of the Lord, we are getting so much opulence to serve, like in Mango we are developing. But we should be very, very, very careful. If we are not pure, this will become another Bhag Bajar. Just really fighting for rooms, fighting for position, and it's all over. And whereas Abhayam Satvasham Shuddhi, Jnana Yoga, so the devotee actually was asking one of my colleague, what should I do? I have such a big anxiety to finish this project. He said, continue with your spiritual activities. Things will come as when Krishna wants them to happen. It's not that you're not doing sadhana, it's not that you're chanting around, it's not that you're not reading shastra, it's not that you're not preaching. Continue this activity, let it come. Because if you have to also prepare to be able to handle, the wealth means it will make you fall down if you're not properly ready. Okay? The history has proven that thing. So many times it has happened. Wealth means fall down. Like Ravana. We also have, in Kali Yuga, nobody is only a devotee. It's also some trace of materialism is there. So the Ravana is sitting in our heart. Rama is also sitting in our heart. So we have the trace of both the qualities. So we will fall down. Okay? Makes sense? Therefore, first thing for a demon, we understand the principle that just being a wealth means it is not a blessing. It can be a curse. Even for a devotee, Atyahara is a curse. Correct? You eating prasadam. You say, oh, it's prasadam, I can eat more. It's a curse. It will bring diseases and you'll fall down. When Srila Prabhupada was asked very nicely by one person, why I see sometimes your devotees are falling down. Prabhupada led a movement, but some devotees are going after. Prabhupada said, see, the principle is that they came for renunciation. They came for service. But now, like a khatamal, you know what happens? Is very thin, wafer thin in the beginning, but later becomes fat after drinking blood. So when we came to this movement, it came with a great spirit for renunciation, with sacrifice, dedication. But after some time, the mistake may be, in the name of spiritual life, I have become a bhogi, an enjoyer. Oh, sir, who wants you? Nobody wants an enjoyer in this movement. You go work outside, not at the cost of God has to, or the temple has to feed and enjoy. No, you have to be austere. You have to be tapasvi. We have come here to serve. We have come here to serve. We have come here to serve Krishna. Okay? Not that we have come to enjoy and God should supply. No. Why God should do? They come to serve. We should never forget that principle. So that is khatamal. Khatamal means he comes very thin, wafer thin. I just want to serve, but later becomes fat. So that spirit should not be there. Always a spirit of Service. We come to serve Krishna. We come for Krishna's enjoyment. We not come here for our enjoyment. And there is no business of Krishna or temple to satisfy your enjoyment. For our enjoyment, we left the spiritual world. When you want to enjoy ourselves, we left the spiritual world, isn't it? So similarly, temples is a spiritual world only. Correct? So when you want to serve Krishna, no, I just want to serve Krishna. And I live a simple life. That's very nice. Simple living, I think. But I forget that principle, then spiritual life is doomed. And what does attract that? Well, because in the material world, we are sitting in the material world. So now we see, therefore, the great kings used to leave their opulent kingdom. No, nobody goes from happiness to unhappiness, isn't it? We see Bharat Maharaj famous case, and so many great kings in the Vedic history used to leave their opulent kingdom and wealth and go for spiritual enlightenment. The principle is there. Even newspaper report some Jain Munis when the rich person leaves and they celebrate that. Here the family cries, but please celebrate. Oh, he is going for, where they go. They're going for spiritual enlightenment. But at least we are confirmed, we are assured of our path. The people are going for spiritual. So Bharat Maharaj is going to the forest practicing austerities to develop spiritual. So giving up material worth for Taktva, Tuna, Shesha, Mandalapati, the Goswami, they also left. They were billionaires, left everything. And Kopi Nikantasito, just to wear a loin cloth and a towel. That's all. And for why? They are in the mohu, they are drinking the waves and ripples of love of Krishna. The real wealth is to enjoy spiritual happiness. Isn't that the real wealth? So we are ready to sacrifice material wealth for spiritual wealth. So we should understand in the real perspective. So our business of life is spiritual wealth. And to acquire, therefore there is a whole chapter on jnana, that we sacrifice material wealth, we sacrifice yagna, homa. At the end, it should lead to realizations. And the realizations make you fearless. Realizations make you attracted to Krishna. Realizations make you enjoy the beauty of Krishna. Realizations make you enjoy the mercy of Krishna. Isn't that what we are looking for? But sometime down the course, we forget that. And we start imitating the karmis. There's like karmis, there is a rat race for, position, respect. We also, coming to the spiritual life also, he didn't listen to me. What does he think? He says that for me. He says, what are you doing? You are running your material race in the spiritual place. Rat race was not here. Rat race was outside. We forget that. Because we have come from the material rat race, here also we start comparing with another person. See, he has so many wealth, he has so much honor. I won't say anything. What are you doing? You come for these things. These things we left already. And now again you are becoming a khatmal. Khatmal means when anybody joins the movement, particularly happens in the temple, they say, what do you want? I just want to serve. He comes with that spirit actually. Sacrifices everything. All family members are shouting, howling. But when he's not mature, without maturity when he comes, again starts new edition. Just like some people, proper jokes, they leave everything, whole family, everything, and they go to Vrindavan. I just want to chant God's name. And they make another family. Find another movement. What is the purpose of that? It doesn't make a sense. Okay? So therefore, immaturely, without realizations, that's the easy. Many people say that. Swamiji, one day I'll give up everything. It's not so easy. Unless you have spiritual taste, unless you have realizations, it is not easy. Okay? So this urge for material worth is actually a sign of our spiritual weakness. Bhoga Aishwarya Prashaktana Taya Aprita Chetasam Pavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhavuna Vidiyate. Bhoga Aishwarya. These two desires within my heart, what will take me down? Okay? The desire for sense gratification, desire for wealth will take me down. The devotee lives a very humble, simple life. Okay? And his actually real wealth is spiritual realization. Just like Sudama we had. What are they doing? He had spiritual wealth. And his wife is saying, there's nothing to eat, nothing to eat. He is peaceful, happy. Anyway, she was so weak, she was shaking. He's like, can't you go to your Krishna? Get something. He said, oh, Krishna, I'll go. And he went to Krishna. And Krishna was all previous day night discussing about, their days in Gurukul, and he was relishing spiritual wealth more and more. So much he was drowning. He felt in the night that actually I came to Vaikuntha. Because Rukmini, Lakshmi, Chamara for me. Can't believe this. Too much this is. And Krishna made me sit on his own bed. Oh, wow, embrace me. Wash my lotus feet with so much love. Oh, wow. What more I want? He was totally satisfied. So satisfied that he did not even ask Krishna for anything. And he came out in total satisfaction. That's a real wealth. That's real wealth. Let us be. See, the money comes and goes. Independent of that, we should be happy. Honor comes and goes. Independent of that, we should be happy. That is real wealth. That is real. It takes time. And sometimes, we think we are in a transcendental position. So Krishna, what he will do? Remove the wealth and watch. And then you can say, I am so attached to comforts. What is there? Now, we are sitting in a chair in a room. If we are sitting on some ground and we are with devotees peacefully chanting, won't that be satisfying? It should be, but it's not. We are still attached to comforts. Similarly, and Prabhupada also made his movement not in a way that devotees sit on the floor, then nothing. Prabhupada said no. Let their austerity be to chant. They are not so elevated. Correct? Let their austerities to be to chant and purify them. Let the struggle be there in chanting Hare Krishna, not struggling to live on the ground with nothing sky all around. Yes, you should be. But Prabhupada said, let us make it easier. The real struggle is to attentively hear the holy name. Let them struggle in that way. So in different ways, very nicely it is explained what is the real wealth to advance the spiritual life, and let us not be lost into the wealth of this attraction of the world. Prabhupada is to always say for all of you as the family people, you are surrounded by karmis, even living with karmis sometime in office at home. Prabhupada said, do not imitate the karmis. I remember a long time ago, we went to some function and one doctor was there. Everybody's telling the doctor, next car has to be your Audi. So do not get lost in the material honor and all. Live a simple life and cultivate real wealth, not at the cost of, and material wealth should not be cultivated at the cost of spiritual. Not that we lose the world. What profit is the man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? There's a famous saying in Christianity, a nice saying. So what is the use if you gain the whole world but lose your spiritual wealth? What is the use? So let us be keen and cultivate spiritual wealth and be happy in spiritual life and progress Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Point is made. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। मेरा एक प्रश्न था प्रभु जी,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
एक प्रश्न था।
Hare
कृष्णा प्रभु जी,
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू
हरे
सो
कृष्णा
मच।
प्रभु जी।
हरे
मेरा एक
कृष्ण
प्रश्न था
प्रभु
प्रभु
जी,
जी,
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
मेरा एक प्रश्न था।
एक सेकेंड माता जी। हरे कृष्णा। हाँ, क्या प्रश्न है माता जी?
जी, जब वो लोग गुरुकुल में दोनों रहते थे, कृष्ण एवं सुदामा, तो जब गुरु माता देती हैं उनको कुछ खाने के लिए चने और समथिंग, तो वो पूरा खुद खा लेते हैं, कृष्णा को नहीं देते हैं। तो फिर जब द्वारिका आते हैं तो वो बोलते हैं कि तुम्हारी ये पुरानी आदत है, मतलब ऐसा नहीं देने की, चुराने की, चुरा के रखने के लिए। तो उसका क्या मतलब, उसमें क्या
माता जी, अब देखो, ये दिस इज नॉट फ्रॉम भागवतम, ये इधर उधर के सुनाई कहानी से हम क्या बोलेंगे इसमें, ठीक है?
हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण।
कमेंट नहीं, मेरे को ना मालूम नहीं है, मैं कमेंट नहीं कर सकता।
हरे कृष्ण।
ठीक है, ओके, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा। Okay, so principle is understood. I appreciate it. Okay, everybody, that let us real life every day should end. होता ना, दिन में कुछ 10 लाख रुपए अकाउंट में, खुशी हो गया, ठीक है. But at the end of the day, now today I come out of one bad habit. एक मेरी बुरी आदत छूट गई आज तो दिन बहुत अच्छा है. आज मैं जप बहुत अच्छे से किया, बहुत अच्छा लगा. This is the real wealth. Work on real wealth. ठीक है. True, to live in the world we have to have some Poverty is a curse. We are not saying become poor. And use it for serving Krishna. Use it for advancing in spiritual life. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We'll take leave now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ekadashi today.